Our first question, though, what percentage of the 5 surgeries per 1,000 residents goal should be cats versus dogs in order to decrease euthanasia?
You know, that's a good question. We do about 50-50 in Jacksonville, 50% dogs and cats, which is unusual. Most programs do a lot more cats than dogs. I think the key is, though, just both dogs and cats combined reaching that 5 surgeries per 1,000 residents per year. And I do want to stress that 5 surgeries per 1,000 residents does not include feral cats. That's a whole separate category.
Which actually is a perfect lead-in, because our next question is, do feral cats qualify for your low-income targeted program, and if not, why?
No, they don't, because that program is focused at owned pets, and we believe that those are the pets that often the offspring end up in shelters. However, we also know that a lot of feral cats, when they have kittens, the caregivers scoop them up and take them to shelters too. So I think it's important to realize that you have to reach that 5 surgeries per 1,000 residents targeted at low-income owned pets, but then somebody's got to be doing something about the feral cats too. And don't ask me how many surgeries it takes, because I don't have a clue.
How can you encourage undocumented immigrants to not be afraid to apply for low-income spay neuter?
I've got a story about that, actually. I own some property in Jacksonville that I rent out, and this past week I rented out a house to some people, and they had a dog, and I said, well, you got to get your dog fixed. And they're like, oh, we get it fixed, that's no problem. I said, okay, you need to bring it to our clinic and get it fixed. And one of these things these people said to me as I was signing the lease is, oh, we really appreciate you not asking for our social security number. And I'm like, oh, should I ask for that? But of course they were, you know, they're Latin American, Honduran actually, and been in Jacksonville for 15 years, which is a little bit longer than I've been there. But I suspect that they probably didn't have the green card or whatever it is you need. But they weren't no more afraid than anybody else to go into our clinic and get their dog fixed. I think it's more of a language barrier type issue than a fear thing. I'm not exactly sure, and we don't have as large a probably illegal population in Northeast Florida as you all do here, and is in South Florida a bit. So that's something that, you know, is going to be different without a doubt, but there will be other things that will be different too.
Our next question is, how does low-cost spay neuter or other low-cost programs, how do they generate a profit?
Well, it's real easy. You charge more than it costs you. Low cost is low cost, but it's not below cost. We figure it costs us, on average, about $82 per surgery that we do, but that's, you know, big dogs and cats. With cats, we figure our cost is somewhere around $35. So we just always try and charge more than what it costs us. Does that answer the question?
That makes perfect sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah. The next question is, how do you handle the military families that have animals that they leave behind when they're deployed or reassigned?
It's too late for us to help them. We got to get to them before they leave the animal behind and help get it spayed and neutered. Jacksonville is a huge military town. We have a big Navy base and we have an Air Force base there, and it's a continuing problem. But I don't think that members of the military are any less responsible with their pets than anybody else is. We also have big colleges in Jacksonville, and we have problems with some of them people too, but once again, I think it's just a percentage of the people are not responsible with their pets. I found that really members of the military aren't any less responsible than anybody else. I don't know if that answered that or not.
I think the only other questions right now are marriage proposals for you, so we're going to thank Mr. DuCharme.
Thanks everybody, I appreciate it.